Baamonde. Baamonde.
Baamonde. Okay. All right. Thank you. I was messing it up the first time. I was like, oh no. All right. So, what did you want to be as a child, and was it an author?
No, I wanted to be a comic book artist. Um, I started collecting comics when I was really young, and I always liked looking at the artwork. Um, and actually, I used to draw my own stories for my favorite movies like Jaws and Godzilla, and I would actually write a story out and then draw it. And but I wanted to be an artist. It was never author right off the bat.
Really?
Yeah,
I like sketching myself. I can't do the comic book style though. I just I'm not good at it.
I was okay.
I love sketching though. I usually sketch like things like horses.
Hmm.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah,
They have all the flowing hair, the beautiful like galloping legs and stuff.
I was never good at drawing animals except sharks
Really? That's cool.
or Godzilla. That was it.
Yes. I've always liked the 1998 one, which all the diehard Godzilla fans, I think, would disagree with me.
I disagree.
Everybody thinks it's the worst one.
Because it's not really Godzilla. They use Godzilla for marquee value. Uh, yeah, I'm not a fan.
I can understand. Alright, so it was a comic book illustrator that you wanted to be. Very nice. So what does a day in the life of Anthony look like?
I wake up and I think that's a pretty good start to any day. Um, I eat breakfast, I work out, I read and I write, watch a lot of sports. That's pretty much the only thing that I watch on TV. And especially with what's going on now, I have to stay at home a lot. But if things were back to normal, I'd be at the record store right now. Yes.
Really? Like actual records?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So you have a play table.
Yeah, yeah. There are my records right here.
Hey, I like Green Day.
Yeah, they're my favorite band of all time.
I like Boulevard of Broken Dreams and also 21 Guns.
Yeah, those are great songs.
Yes, that's very cool. Well, that's great. It is so cool that you listen to records. I'd be afraid to even touch one. I'd be
Mm,
afraid of myself.
no, some of them are old. Like I think the coolest one I have is an original Jailhouse Rock 45 from 1957.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That is pretty cool. That's something to treasure.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty much not just American history, it's music history, and I have it right behind me.
Oh, cool. That is cool. I just saw the movie High Fidelity.
What was that about? I've heard of it. I forgot.
It was John Cusack, and he ran a record store
Oh, okay.
back in 2000,
Mm-hmm.
and they were huge music buffs,
Yeah.
and they were all the classic old
Mm-hmm.
style of music and the quality of it. And they really appreciated that, and they listened to it on records.
Oh, yeah. I'm always listening to my records, so yeah, that's probably a movie I should check out.
It was actually really good. it was it's a romance comedy,
Oh.
and uh, so what do you use to inspire you when you get writer's block? If
Uh,
you get writer's
I like to draw a lot. I like to draw out my ideas. So I use those, and I use notes and I use drawings whenever I get writing block, but I have so many ideas that I don't want to say it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen as often as it used to. But if I ever do get caught in that predicament, I just use a drawing.
That's cool. It kind of gets the creative juices flowing.
Yes, yes.
That's very cool. I like that. I do a lot of reading and listening to YouTube playlists.
Mm, yeah.
If I'm somewhere and what I'm writing, I try to listen to like the playlist I have for that story, and I try to read books or part of a book that's like similar genre,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like along. Yeah. So, in your opinion, what would you say? Coffee or tea?
Tea. But when I was younger, I used to like coffee. But uh, I used to work at Starbucks, and everyone would come up and ask me what my favorite drink was, and I'd tell them water because I don't drink coffee anymore. Yeah.
In the coffee cafe.
Yeah, I don't do coffee. I'm a green tea kind of guy. Green tea and cinnamon.
Oh wow, I've never had the combination before. I love chai tea lattes.
I've never had the only thing at Starbucks I had when I was working there was a frappuccino, and that was it.
Really? What flavor?
The secret menu Oreo frap.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one. Yes.
It's it's okay.
I love coffee. I have a vanilla macchiato every morning, and then throughout the day, I make myself maybe an americano
Mm.
or just a cup of coffee. It's every day for me.
Yeah, I can't say the same. I'm a tea guy. Tea relaxes me.
Really, I do like tea. For possibly in the nighttime.
Yes, especially when I'm reading.
Really, I also like the coconut milk matcha.
Yeah.
Anything with caffeine, I'm all for. Um, so, what do you think? Best TV or movie adaptation of a book?
Uh, best TV. Um, I like the movie Holes,
Oh,
based on the book by Lewis Sacker. Um,
huh?
I thought
What's
that
that?
there was very few like discrepancies between the book and the movie, and I like that it stayed true to the source material. But I just like that story that the past connects with the present, and all these past characters are relevant in the present, and I just love that whole movie and book, everything about it.
I know exactly what you mean. I did enjoy that movie. I don't remember exactly everything about it, but I thought that there was some sort of there was a larger issue that they had to kind of handle in the movie, but they handled it in a way that I don't know. You were rooting for the characters the
Yes.
whole time, and they had to fight against a lot of odds out there, almost as child laborers.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. I do like that one a lot. Mine, my favorite book or movie adaptation would be Silence of the Lambs. And then I like several others. Recently, though, I got into watching Ready Player One as top of a book. I love the visuals. They're
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah, that was a I didn't I saw bits and pieces of it. Um, but yeah, it was very nice to look at.
Yes, it was. Alrighty. So you have written short stories.
Yes.
So I know about your short story
Mm.
Mind in a Map.
Mind in a Masterpiece. It's about this artist who hears his self-portrait talking to him, and it's very psychological, very dark, and really goes into this painter's mental illness. And I actually hear this is actually the original rough draft of it that I wrote senior year of high school.
Awesome!
So,
It's so nice to know.
so I wrote this like lunchtime at senior year. Um, yeah, it's very different than what I wrote for Edge, but yeah, it's twisted. It's a twisted story.
I enjoyed it. It was good, and it kept me intrigued, and it kept me guessing, which are two things I really like about stories.
Yeah, thank you.
I studied counseling. I studied counseling in my bachelor's
Hmm.
in my undergraduate degree, and so I love psychology, and reading anything with psychology or anything about the mind just already has me interested.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that also stood out to me
Oh,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it was. I'm really happy to been able to include it in Edge.
Yeah, thank you. It was awesome.
Absolutely. So do you plan your books in advance, or do you let them develop as you write?
I do a little of both. Um, when I come up with a story, I need two things right off the bat: the title and the ending. But I think the ending's way more important because if I know what happens at the end, then I can work my way to it. I know how to start, and I know the finish line already.
Yeah.
So I kind
I
of work
think
backwards.
you're sort of a pantser. I think call them pantsers, so where they just kind of wing it.
Yeah,
But you're kind of a plotter because you know the ending of your story
yeah,
as soon as you're.
yeah.
I'm
I know the ending of stories that I haven't looked at in 5 years.
I, it's funny how we keep them in our like catalog in our mind,
Hmm.
even though we hadn't down yet.
Yeah.
Um, I'm definitely one who has to like plan. And one of my stories that I wrote called Chronicles of a Cover Up, and that's the one I'm querying now.
Hmm.
What I did was I created that one to submit it into a film screenwriting competition, and they didn't want the full screenwriting competition; they just wanted a treatment. A treatment is like a 20-page breakdown of every single detail in the story from start to finish. And so once I submitted it, I got rejected. Oh well. But then I was like, you know what? This is still a good story. I really like. And then I was like, I'm gonna turn this into a book. And as soon as I started writing the book, because I had the whole thing organized already from start to finish, it just started flowing. And that was one book I wrote the quickest ever.
Wow.
Like my yes, my debut release, The Beckwith Brothers. It took me like 2.5 years to write that. The Chronicles of the Cover Up, because I had the whole thing plotted out early, I wrote that in like 2 months flat.
Wow. Wow. How many
And
pages?
what was it?
How many pages?
61,000 words. It is, I think, 172 pages. I think it's something like that.
In 2 months?
Yeah, because I already had that breakdown of it, that 20-page breakdown. And I was like, it was capable of just being fleshed out because it was ready. It
Yeah.
was like there.
That's crazy. 2 months. Wow. 61,000 words. Jesus.
I'm glad it went that fast though. I wish everything I write could go that fast.
Yeah, me too.
But the rest of the stuff I've written does not go that fast. But maybe if I had such a fleshed out like treatment for everything else,
Hmm.
it might help me along.
Yeah, maybe.
So what does the act of writing itself mean to you?
For me, it's just getting a thought out of my head. Or I think if you see something that was in your head written or drawn on a piece of paper, it's way more tangible. And it's 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 like writing for me is like there's screaming in my head and it won't get out until I write it on paper. Like
Yes.
I've woken up from many deep sleeps just to write down an idea.
Oh, I know, right? Because it's like stuff comes to you in dreams, and it's like when you wake up, you don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
So it's like it wakes you up, and you're like, stop everything, even sleep. I need to get this
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I remember in high school, I it was like 2 in the morning, and I woke up and I wrote down this entire like 6-part story idea in like 5 minutes, and I just went right back off the bed.
Yeah, exactly. But then but the fact that you got it out and put it on paper, it's like you were able to release it from your mind.
Yeah, it was like a weight.
Yeah, exactly. Stories. You have several stories on the back burner that are waiting to be written.
Oh man. I have piles of notes and notebooks of ideas and drawings. Some go back to early high school. A couple days ago, I actually just got a 12 pack of legal pads so I can keep writing ideas down because that's how much I write. Um, but
Good.
it it's overwhelming sometimes when you have all those ideas and pieces of paper around. But I always ask myself, which one do I want to start first? And I always narrow it down by what's the most important.
Yeah, yeah. I can understand that. It's hard to choose which one to go next,
Hmm.
which one to choose next to flesh out and to bring to fruition. And it's kind of like your inspiration kind of has to guide you
Yeah,
almost to know, what am I interested in focusing on right
yeah.
now. Yeah, I can understand that for sure. I like having extra material waiting for
Hmm.
me. So then I'm not, trying to search for an idea. I have ideas.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think, yeah. Same piece. Like the issue. So, what advice would you give to budding authors about publishing? About publishing or even just writing?
Uh, Network. That's definitely huge. Don't stop talking to people. Let people learn your name and see your face, and don't stop looking for opportunities. I mean, there's the internet for a reason. Like, it's out there. You just gotta find it.
Using it and utilizing what's at our fingertips.
Exactly.
That's a good advice. So, what publishing method interests you the most? Traditional publishing, hybrid, indie, or self publishing, and why?
Um, I think hybrid because I think it's important for writers to start off kind of small. You just don't, most writers don't expect to graduate college and just get accepted by the big five of the publishing industry. So I think you got to put some things into perspective a little bit, but I think hybrid because I like starting off indie because it's a good foot in the door, but I definitely want to get into more traditional publishing. I mean, what writer wouldn't?
Right, because it's like you almost consider that the gold standard.
Exactly, exactly.
It's like I enjoy indie. I enjoy being independent, but I think that for me, I've had a few stories that I just wanted to make sure I maintain
Yeah,
as just mine without selling the rights to, without having to change for a publisher to accept it
yeah,
more. But then there's some that I'm willing to allow a publisher to have. That way, I think it can kind of like split my interest
hmm,
between and traditional. And that's why I really wanted the Beckwith brothers to be just mine, to be independent.
yeah,
And that's why I'm querying Chronicles of Cover Up. And what's great is that once you have some indie stories under your belt, you can use those as, a way to market yourself, which is cool
hmm,
for the
yeah,
authors. And then it can also be, you can have a catalog that might interest a publisher.
yeah,
And once, if you get a publisher or an agent, your entire catalog of indie work will start getting more recognition just because the one book you sacrificed to the traditional publisher.
yes.
Yes,
That's very true.
yes, we're planning our destiny here.
Yeah, world domination.
Yeah, it's the world domination. That's the goal. So, what would you tell hopeful content creators about trying to break out in publishing?
Hmm. Uh, don't give up. Definitely that. Like I said before, network and get your name out there. But I think the most important thing is giving people a reason to remember you. And
Good.
don't let criticism stop you. Just learn from it. Learn how to get better, you know?
That's good. That's very good. I agree. So you can share what are your next steps for your publishing goals?
Um, just to keep writing more short stories and seeking more online opportunities like this. My dream would be to have a novel of my own, but I'm 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 liking the short story thing so far.
It's pretty cool. I didn't used to write short stories like ever. And after I started, I saw a contest asking for short stories, so I started writing them. And I was like, you know what? These are a good avenues to, continue the networking, grow my network,
Hmm.
and then also like experience writing short stories
Yeah,
because it's kind of a writing abilities.
yeah, yeah.
So we are getting to our final question. How can we find out more about Anthony Baamonde, your books, your platform, and your writings on social media and the web?
You can find me on Twitter at Anthony Baamonde, Baamonde. Add me on Facebook and Instagram. My Instagram is Anthony underscore Baamonde. Listen to my podcast, The Horror Frequency, on Pop Horror, and read my short story, Mind and a Masterpiece.
In Edge, a killer thriller.
Reader beware, you're in for a scare.
This is so cool. I'm so glad I was able to interview you and chat with you, especially before our podcast interview on December 20th.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
Me too. It's going to be very, very fun. I enjoyed our talk.
Me too. It was fun. Thank you.
No worries. Okay. Thank you. So nice talking with you.
You too.
Have a great evening.
You too. Bye.